Getting guys.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Mark McLeod, and I'm the engineer at Abroad101.
My name is Mike Stone. I'm one of the co-founders at Abroad101.
So, Abroad101 was founded in 2007, to address a few pain points in the study abroad industry. First, as my colleagues can attest to, it was really difficult as a student to get unbiased information on study abroad programs to make a decision on where you wanted to go abroad. Second, universities were finding it really difficult to evaluate their programs. They were using pencil and paper. It was really disorganized, kind of put in a drawer and forget, and they couldn't share it with other students. And third, study abroad providers were finding it difficult to effectively target and reach students online. So there was a clear need for more transparency in study abroad. A little bit about the market. The global market for study abroad is $40 billion in tuition per year. Right now, we are, as in Abroad101, we're focusing on the 300,000 outbound U.S. students, which represents about $3 billion of that $40 billion. But that said, we're really excited to expand into other verticals as soon as we can, really. Our business model takes a kind of a three-step approach. First, we give a free online evaluation tool to universities here in the States. They use that tool to collect evaluations from students, and then we push those evaluations out to a TripAdvisor review-like website, which is what you see here. And then we sell leads to program providers, and we also sell ad space. Right now, we have over 115 partnered schools here in the U.S. that are using our evaluation tool. Tufts is using it, MIT, UT Austin. There are a lot of big schools using it. We have signed contracts with about 9 study abroad providers, which represents about 8% of the U.S. outbound market in terms of students and revenue spent. And we've done most of that actually in the past 6 months while at Mass Challenge. With that, I'm going to give you a quick little run through of a couple use cases on the site. So let's pretend that I'm a student, a pre-abroad student, and I don't know where I want to go, which is generally the case. And so there's a couple ways I could do it. I could go to geography. I could search by provider if I happen to know one of these random providers, which most people don't. Or I can go by rankings. So let's go by rankings. Let's say that I am really interested in food.
A lot of students use this as their deciding factor,
yes.
Interestingly enough.
And I want to go to Spain. So right here you have a list of the top ranked programs by food in Spain. So since ISA is one of our partners, we'll pick this one. So here's the program page. This description is entered by the program provider. They can enter a variety of information. ISA chose to do this for this program. Down here you can see some teasers for reviews. I've read the reviews. I like the program. I want to get more information. So just click on this, fill it out, and that's a lead for Abroad101 that we send off to ISA, which results in money for us. All right, let's take a second use case. Let's go into the...
How many of you studied abroad, by the way? Raise your hand if you studied abroad. Keep your hand up if it was easy to find information about your program. So, some people. All right.
Surprising.
I'm interested to...
Okay, so this is the university portal. This is the free tool that all of our university partners have. There's 5 sections. We try to keep it as simple as possible for these people. Student management is where they can go to, invite their students. So it's really easy. You put in a custom message, put in your students' email addresses, send it out. It'll send a message along with a custom message, and then remind those students that haven't left reviews every 2 weeks for up to a few months. So we really nag them on behalf of the university administrator until they leave a review to try to get that response rate up. In the evaluation section, they can see a list of all their evaluations from all their students, whether they've approved it, denied it, deactivated it, whatever. They can read them here. The reporting tool kind of gives them some statistics on the response rate. You can go into single reports, say they're interested in food again. You can see what your students are saying compared to the rest of the population of Abroad101. You can see a snapshot of what they're saying for what programs specific to food in the comments. Each university can customize the evaluation on top of 10 core questions. So they can have whatever questions they want on top that they're asking their students, and that is question time. So questions?
All right, thank you very much, Abroad101. Any questions?
How do you make the money, and how authentic is the information? Because you are letting the provider to put the information there. So who's going to validate those information?
Okay, so we make money via lead generation. So program providers will pay us anywhere from, this is for if it converts to an enrollment, $500 to $2,000 for an enrollment, and also advertising.
As far as the legitimacy of the data, it's something that we're really careful about. The providers can actually edit that space in the profile, but they can never manipulate the information that's being submitted by the student. So we'll say to them, you know, if you see anything disrespectful, the student's swearing, or if they use any individual's name, we'll remove that from the website. But we've actually collected almost 6,000 reviews at this point, and about 12 have had to be removed. So it's a pretty incredible return rate. And students are accountable because their advisors are reviewing this information.
Universities can approve and disapprove evaluations, but program providers can't filter it at all.
So how is the competitive landscape, and what's your edge over others?
Well, we are the largest review website. Our competitors mainly are directories of programs without any dynamic content. There are a couple of other smaller review websites, but they just aren't partnering with universities like we are. It's really difficult to get a really detailed evaluation. Our evaluations are really long. I actually didn't show you guys, but there's a lot of detailed information, and it's really difficult to get that without having the universities nag their students on our behalf. And they only do that because we're partnered with them, and then we give them these tools to look into the data further.
I'm curious if you've run into any problems with FERPA. Are all the leads you sell put in by the students themselves and not provided by the universities, and that's how you get around?
Definitely.
Yep.
I had a 9-month tutorial in FERPA when we started this, and we worked with the Tufts legal counsel quite closely. And basically, it's all opt-in. Students only share their information if they'd like. It's basically an opportunity for the student to say to the program, I want you to contact me, but none of the other information would ever be compromised, so it's very secure and it's FERPA compliant.
What is FERPA?
Sorry, FERPA is like HIPAA for higher education. So it's the privacy of student information, their email, good question. Sorry, these are things that I take for granted because we're so entrenched in the industry. But yeah, so the fact that it's opt-in makes it very easy for us to partner with the universities. Yeah.
You guys said you have partnerships with about 9% of the study abroad programs. You guys only do lead gen to those 9%, and if so, what do you do with the rest of the leads?
It's actually not 9% of the programs. It's we partner with a few of the big providers, which represent 9% of the outgoing market. And if we get a lead that is not with a provider that we have a contract with, we generally send the lead in order to try to get a contract with them. So right now, the other 91%, we don't make money off that, but it helps us recruit those providers under contract.
Did you say how much revenue you've gotten from leads in the past 6 months?
How much is it?
I mean, currently, the thing is that it takes about 6 to 9 months for the leads to actually convert. So we just started reaching out to the program providers about
4 months ago.
Yeah, very recently, to the point that we have contracts with them, but it's probably going to be a few more months until the majority of those leads convert.
And they've put about $70,000 up front for some leads.
And is that how much bigger than your advertising business?
Generally, these contracts come with an advertising component. It's much bigger than the advertising part.
Oh. So my question was just, is there any way for you guys to, I remember when I was studying abroad, it's very important to kind of know which universities abroad you can transfer credits from and what that would turn into at your university. So I mean, I would imagine that that's a huge project, but that would probably be a huge differentiation point.
Well, actually, so the 110 or 115 universities, when they log in, I didn't show you this part, but one of the 5 things they could do on that panel was add a list of pre-approved programs that automatically transfer credit. And so if they do that and their students log in and are affiliated with that university, wherever they're browsing on the site, behind programs that are approved by their university, it'll have a big approved stamp. So while they're browsing, they can see which ones are approved if the university has done that.
Quick question. So you said the conversion window is about up to 9 months, and then a lot of these people are not actually converting online. I imagine, like it's a big, complicated process. So how do you enforce you getting, your referral fee? I mean, we're talking about $2,000 per referral. There's probably a lot of incentive from the programs to sort of hide some of that.
Right.
Yep.
It's a great question. I mean, we're starting to experiment with that. First of all, when we contract these advertisers, we basically say you're required to track these leads, and we
Update us.
The majority of them actually have a CRM software tool, so they are tracking it. But we're also email blasting the students a year later and saying, by the way, what program did you go on? And then we're able to actually get the student to tell us whether they attended that program, and we can actually prove whether Abroad101 was responsible for that lead before the other websites out there.
We haven't been able to measure this yet, but we're hoping that A, program providers won't lie to us, and B, if they are lying to us, at least maybe the students will tell us what program they went on, and then we can
It's all
call them
about
out on it.
transparency, so
Yep.
hopefully the students will be honest in the end.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Abroad101.
Thank you guys very much.
Now,